Hello friends, welcome to the second session of SAP Fiori. Today I will more talk on SAP UI5. So these are the topics that I will cover today. The first thing is I will talk on different softwares, different components and tools that need to develop the SAP UI5 application. I will show you how to install it. Then I will create on basic SAP UI5 application, and towards the end of this session I will try to deploy the UI5 application into the ABAP application server. So before going into the detail part, I would like to briefly introduce myself. Friends, my name is Parthasarathi Goswami. I live in Pune, India with my wife. I have around 6.5 years of experience in IT, working in different technologies in SAP like ABAP, different cross application interfaces. Different cross application interfaces like ALE iDocs, EDIs, RFC, PI proxy. I have worked on different enhancement techniques, workflows, web intro, different performance tuning techniques like SPTF framework, BGRFC, etc. I have explored ABAP on HANA. I have experienced myself in SAP Fiori, compiling with UI5 and OData services. Along with the technical side, I have quite good knowledge on material management, PTP process. I have worked on across modules in SAP from SCE, PTP to OTC, BizTex, pricing catalog, FI, FPM. Now coming to my professional experience, I have worked with different giant MNCs like IBM, Accenture, for different sectors of clients like pharmaceutical, distribution and manufacturing. So I hope you like my introduction. So now let's move into the topics. So I will detail you about the software, different components and tools that need to develop the SAP UI5 applications. So these are the tools, like we need Java JDK, we need Eclipse, we need UI5 component toolkit, and we need Apache server to develop the UI5 application. So to get the Java JDK, you need to go to the oracle.com and you can get it from there. Like from here, if you will go into the oracle.com, you will find different option over there according to your operating system. As I am using Windows operating system 64-bit, so I will go to this link and download the JDK and I will install it. As I have already installed in my system, I will not repeat the same. So what next? Next is Eclipse. To download Eclipse, you need to go into the eclipse.org. Here I will be using the Kepler version. This is the version. We will have different version of Eclipse, like we will have Kepler, we will have Luna. To download Eclipse, you need to go into the eclipse.org and here is the version. In that particular link you will find different options over there. You will need to download the Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. So as I am running Windows 64-bit operating system, I will go into this particular link and download the Eclipse IDE version. After downloading, you will find on zip folder. You need to just extract that zip folder, and after that you will find these are the different subfolders and components inside that folder. So what you need to do is you need to click on this icon. This is the executable file, and the Eclipse will automatically installed in your system. It will take some time. So after installing the Eclipse, you need to double click on this particular icon and Eclipse will open up. So in the next part you need to install the UI5 toolkit into your Eclipse platform. That means Eclipse is a generic platform where you can develop your Java application, you can develop your PHP application, you can develop your ABAP application as well. Here we are trying to develop UI5 application through Eclipse. So for that you need to install the toolkit of UI5. For this you just need to go into the help, then install new software, so this is the most easiest way to install the UI5 toolkit. So here you need to do is you need to copy paste the HANA tool link. This is the link. While you will put tools.hana.ondemand.com. Here I am, as I am using Kepler version, I kept Kepler. All the different components will come. You can see it here. From here, for your UI5 development, you need this component, ABAP development tool for SAP NetWeaver, and UI development tool kit for HTML5. If you wish, you can install the HANA components as well, if you are interested to code on HANA. So as I have already installed the UI5 application, UI5 components toolkit, here I will not repeat the same, but for your case you just check that 2 check boxes and click next. It will be automatically installed in your Eclipse platform. So how you will get that it is successfully installed in your Eclipse or not? For that you need to go to help and about Eclipse. You will find different toolkit that has already installed here. Like here, as I installed the SAP UI5, I can see SAP UI5 here. So what next? We have installed Java JDK, we have installed Eclipse, we have installed the UI5 toolkit into Eclipse. Now our system, now our system is ready to develop our first UI5 application. Although this part Apache server I have not talked on this, but after some time I will definitely come into this part. So let's create our first UI5 application. To develop UI5 application, you need to go into the Eclipse, go for file option, new, and then others. Here you will find different options. You have to choose, you have to expand SAP UI5 application development folder. There you will find application project. You have to select application project and click next. Here you need to give some name of that particular project that you are going to create. I am giving it as G Partha _1. So here you can see we have two library options. One is sap.ui.commons, one is sap.m. sap.m is for mobile application and tablet application. These are the libraries where SAP has already built a lot of JavaScript. We can just extract and use the library in our UI5 application. Definitely I will create some session on this particularly, but as of now you can just keep in mind sap.m is for mobile and tablet application, and sap.ui.commons is for desktop, and it's for the desktop based application. So here we will have another option like on checkbox create an initial view. I'm marking it. So what will happen, let's see. I am clicking on next. Here you can see I have different options. So these are the different options of view. So to give an overview, I would like to tell SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori works on the MVC architecture. Okay, I will create another session definitely to give a detailed view on MVC architecture, but here just keep in mind, like in UI5 we will have the controller part and the view part. The model part, that means the data manipulation part, will be handled in the OData section. So here we will have different options to create the view. We have JavaScript, we have XML, JSON and HTML. So here I would like to tell you, like initially SAP when launched the Fiori application, they kept all their views in JavaScript, but later on they realized that they have to move into XML because this is much easier rather than JavaScript, and our friends can easily develop UI5 application through XML. So here I am choosing this XML version of view, and I have to give some name of view. Here I am giving name as first view, and then I am clicking on finish. Let's see what happens. Okay, so what is happening is, here one project has been created named as G Partha _1. Here you can see under this project there are different files and folders. Okay, so here as of now just keep in mind the main parts of these files and folders. So the main file is index.html, because this is the file, this is the first file which will load while we will run our UI5 application. So inside, so let me brief about that index.html. So in that index.html we basically have three parts. One is metadata section. Here the browser information and other informations will be there. The another part is the bootstrap section. In the bootstrap section we will mention the libraries that we are going to use here throughout the UI5 applications. Here you can see I have used sap.m, so it is coming up here. And then we will have another section. This is the UI part. Okay, so here directly you can write your UI code, like you can write your to add buttons, to add text field, to add tables and many things. But in real-time project we will never write directly code here. So you can see, as you can see, an auto-generated code has been pasted in this UI section, application part. Okay, so here, as I have mentioned the view name as first, it is coming as first. So that means this code will just call the view. Okay, I'll go into the view file, and this is the body part. Okay, so this body part is following the DOM, document object model. Okay, so let me show you the other files, important files. Here this is the view file. Okay, view.xml, first.view.xml, and this is the controller file, first.controller.js. Okay, so in this controller file you can see we have some auto generated code have already is there, like we have on init function, we have before rendering function, we have after rendering function, and we have on exit function. So for different purposes we will write our code into these different functions. Okay, I will explain you later in some other sessions. So another important thing I would like to show you, like this part, UI5 core libraries. Here you can see there are different libraries we can use in our code, like we can use in our view, we can use in our index.html. So these are the different libraries. So we are already using the sap.m libraries. Let's check. Yeah, in sap.m libraries we have different functions and options that we can use. Okay, so here you can see, like using this library we can create checkbox, we can create columns, we can create a dialog box, we can create input, we can place images. So there are lot many of options is there in different libraries. Okay, so let's create our first application. So to place, I have already told you, to place the UI part we will code into our view file. Here our view file is first.view.xml. So how to do the coding? So XML coding is very easy. Like if you wish to place some button in your browser, So if you want to place some buttons on your browser, on your UI5 application, the code is very easy. You need to just code it like this: button text equal to something text like submit, and you need to close the tag like here. So this is that much simple. Okay, so now let's code some meaningful application. For that I have some sample code over here, so I will just copy paste the code. I will explain you every part of it. Here you can see I am creating on level select date. I am creating on input field as date, and I am giving the ID as sDate. Okay, and then I am creating another level as select time, and there I have the option date time input. Okay, and type as time. So I can also create the date field as well as date time input, type as date, but I want to show you some other things inside this. Actually what I am going to show you, like in our UI5 application there will be mainly two field. One is date field, one is time field. Inside the date field I will put some wrong date, and I will see what will happen if I will put some wrong date. Okay, so so the control in the controller file I will also have to code to pop up some error messages on putting some wrong date into the date field. I have the on ready-made code also here. I'll just copy paste it. So see, I have different functions over here. I will not paste my code inside any of this function as of now. I am pasting it here. Okay, so in this function here we are trying to create on function like validate function. The function name is validate. Okay, and what we are doing is we are extracting the date, okay, by using the property like as I have mentioned that date field I have given the ID as sDate. So here I am capturing the value of the date field as this dot by ID date, my m properties dot value dot split. So after splitting I will get the date value into three different variables, okay, by using this code: year, month, day. Okay, so after that what I am doing is, if the date is greater than today's date, greater than equal to today's date, then I will show on message like date entered correctly. If this is not, then the system will throw like on alert message like incorrect date. Okay, so this controller code is all about this. Okay, so here you can see, like I have already told you, when our UI5 application first launch, then this index.html file will be execute first. So while executing this, it will call this first view. Okay, inside that view it will load that to field, date field and time field, and after that it will place at this div. Here the div id is content. Here my code is app.place at content. So my view will be placed at this place of body. Okay, so I'm saving it, and let's try. So to run your UI5 application, you will have to right click on your project or on your index.html file, and you have the option run as. You will find different options over there, like initially you will not find run on server and these other options. You will only have the web app preview. Let's go into the web app preview and see what is showing up there. If you will find difficulty to come up your UI5 application, then you can always go into the browser. The best option is to choose the Chrome browser and paste the URL over there. So there is some problem that we are facing. Let's check what would be the problem. You can always check into the browser. There we will have the console version, but here I can see I have not saved it properly because these files you can see on asterisk over there. So this has not been properly saved. After saving, the asterisk will vanish. Okay, so now it has been properly saved. Let me save it index.html as well. Now I am trying to run it again. Right click on the project, then run as, then web app preview. See, the select date and select time and two text boxes, two input fields comes up over here, and on submit button also comes up over here. Okay, so you can also check the same from your browser as well. Let me copy paste it into the browser. See, so in this input field you can choose the date. In the Chrome browser you can check it like this. For the date you can choose it from here, like I am choosing 6/10/2016. I am choosing the time as well. Okay, let's submit it. So here the pop-up is saying date entered correctly. So I have the code in our controller file, like the date is today's greater than today's date, greater than or equal to today's date or not. So this is the date of today's date, so it is giving me the date entered correctly. Let's put some wrong date, means some less than today's date, and then submit. It is saying like incorrect date as we have done the coding. So quite interesting, right? So you have seen how we can run our UI5 application as web app preview. But to run our UI5 application into some server, into some local server, then you have to install the Tomcat. So before installing Tomcat, you will not find this option, run on server. Here in my Eclipse, the Tomcat server has already been installed, right? But I will show you how to install the Tomcat server. So for that you need to click on the restore option over here, so that the options will come at the bottom part. Here you can see we have different options like markets, markers, properties, servers and other things. In the server option, initially if you have not already installed Tomcat, then you will find on link over here. You will have to click on that link and on pop-up screen will come. You have to follow the instructions that mentioned in that pop-up screen. So it will automatically installed in your system. So after that you will find Tomcat version 7.0 is coming over here, and you will find that you are able to run your application on server, right? So after that, so what next? We have already created our first UI5 application. The next part is to deploy the UI5 application into our ABAP application server. So definitely we have one question now, right? So how we can get and run the UI5 application into our production system? So to do that, we need to deploy the application into ABAP application server. Then we need to get all the relevant UI5 files and folders into some transport request, right? And then we will able to move the TR from different system. Move the transport request to from development to quality to staging, and at last it will move into production. After that we can successfully run our business in UI5. So how to deploy our application into ABAP application server? Let's check. So to do that, you have to have some prerequisites in your ABAP application server. So let's check what are the prerequisites. Here you can see I have two server, one is Fiori backend, one is front end. So I will definitely deploy my UI5 application in the front end server. I have already logged in into the front end server. Let's check what is the prerequisite. So in that, after logging into the system, go to system status, go into the component, search for the UI. Okay, so this is the component that you need to have in your ABAP server. Otherwise you will not be able to deploy your UI5 application into ABAP server. So let's try to deploy it into ABAP server. I am going into the Eclipse again. This is our project zpartha._1. I am right click on the project. I have one option like team. There I have one option share project. I have to share project. Here you will find SAP UI5 ABAP repository. Select that one, click next. You have to browse the connection. Here I will browse the front-end connection name over here. It will come up all the relevant information, the application server, the instance number and all. I'll click next. I'll put the client number, user, and I will click next. So it will ask me two different options. Select a BSP application, existing BSP application, and create a new BSP application. I will select create a new BSP application. Okay, so here I would like to tell you something, like if I would have created the project without Z, what will happen? Let's check. Test. And I have to give some package. I have already one package, UI5. Then I am clicking next. Some error is coming up because that means we have to give the project name as begins with Z. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I am putting Z over here, Z part 1, and I am clicking next. After that it will pop up three different options, like choose the request, means TR request, existing request, or you will have the option create a new transport request, or if you know the transport request number, you can put it over here. So I will go for this create a new request option, put some description, transport description over here, and click finish. So here you will get on pop-up for version check. Click OK. So you probably have not noticed some changes happened in these different folders. So let's check what are the changes happened. I have already captured the previous screenshot of it. Let's check. So what are the changes you are seeing? Here you can see, like after G Partha _1 project name, here some other informations are coming up. Here 001 is the client and Fury server, and this is the project name. And on each and every folder you can see the difference. Some that icon have been changed, right? So by this you will be able to find whether your application got into the ABAP server or not. But we are in the halfway to deploy our UI5 application to ABAP server. Okay, so we need one more step. What we need to do is we need to right click on project, go for the same team option, and then we need to submit it. Okay, here you can see the operation is new. Okay, so when you change into the UI5 application and you will try to submit, here you will find change option here. So that means you can anytime change in your UI5 application in Eclipse, and you can submit it into ABAP server, application server. I am clicking on finish. See, by now our UI5 application should move into ABAP application server. Here I would like to say, like, all our UI application components and parts will be moved into our application server as BSP application. So to check whether it is successfully moved into ABAP application, I am going into the ABAP application server and going for AC80 option. I will go for the BSP option, BSP application option. Here I will put my project name, partha underscore 1. This is our project name. Here you can see all the components, all the folders and files comes over here. Here, like index.html, is coming here, and other parts like view part and controller part also deployed in our application server, right? So now we can run our UI5 application on ABAP application server as well. How we can do it? Let's check. We have to similarly right click on the project, go for the run as option. Here you can see one more option has been added, run on ABAP server. Click on the run on ABAP server. It will definitely ask you for the credentials of your ABAP application server. I am copying the link. I will put it over browser, Chrome browser. See, our first simple and beautiful UI5 application has been launched through ABAP application server. Is not it interesting?